There we go.
Oh, hi. I'm so excited for this one. I have become a big Canada and like global TV stan in the past few weeks. So I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah, I feel like global TV really loved my meme of like, and they've been my big supporter. And so I'm like, woo, go global
Well,
TV.
well, we're happy to be talking to you today. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy day to speak with us.
Yeah.
Um, Getting right to the heart of it, I mean, how are you feeling today having watched everything play back? I know for a lot of people, when they do watch, the show and they see everything play back, everything comes rushing back to them. It's like re-experiencing it again. How are you feeling today about the whole thing?
Yeah, it is devastating. It is brutal to like watch myself in that space. I think
Uh,
I don't hide my emotions and you see it like watching myself feel those things. Yeah, it transported me back to that. But, today I woke up and like I woke up. I'm here, a little hungover, but I am like in existence and the world continues to turn and I'm having fun like doing something that I like as a super fan is so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm as happy as you can be for getting voted out like that.
Well, the whole thing too, I tell people to always remember is you beat out thousands of other people to be on the show, and you got to live the dream, no matter how long or short it was. Now, getting back to your journey on the show, I mean, much was made of like again, hadn't played in challenges, sat them out. You explained what your thoughts were at Tribal Council. Is there anything more to the story, or is there anything that you didn't include when you were talking about why was it part strategy? Tell us a little bit about what went into that in your when you were thinking through everything.
Yeah, the first challenge, I first off knew who would be sitting out, and I kind of had premeditated wanting to talk to somebody. And when Matthew raised his hand, I was like, that looks like an interesting person to talk to. So that
Yeah.
was part of it. I also looked at that challenge, and that challenge, it proved to be brutal and it looked brutal. So that was like, I'm not excited. The real strategy after that was really just like cohesion, going with the flow, trying to not ruffle feathers. Or is it rustle? Oh no, it's ruffle.
Rough.
Wait. Um, but
Either
like,
or works.
yeah, but so for me, it was like, it's very hard once you've kind of set this precedent. If everyone's looking at you saying sit out,
Yeah.
am I going to be the person who's like, no, no, put me in? Like you see the person who's like, I'm so good at puzzles, put me in the puzzle and fail. Like you see yourself going, oh, put me in the challenge.
Right, right.
If we lose the challenge, then they're like, the exact same thing if I sit out, right? Where they go, Claire didn't play. They can go, what's different? Claire played, we lost. So it was this weird like catch 22 of like, I kind of felt damned if I do, damned if I don't. Like, I don't think that the full reason I was voted out was because I sat out. I think it was like pretty clear between the lines that there was more going on in Danny's head when he decided to target me. And so that was like, yes, it was a factor. I don't think it was the whole thing.
Yeah.
I had fun. I experienced it and devastated I didn't get to play a challenge, but I was just like, what can I do to get myself to the merge so I can play? And what I really wanted to play in was the individual immunities. Like
Right.
that was like, I was so excited, obviously miscalculated something.
Now let's get one thing really clear is that again from your preseason interviews you have a good head about you, very astute person. You weren't intimidated by the challenges at all, were you?
No, like that first one was hard. I could have done it. That second one could have done it. Third one, I could have done it. But again, it was like this calculus of like, I couldn't differentially get my team that W. Like I had practiced if it had been certain puzzles, I had done like, I actually had my cousin 3D print puzzles too, but like I hadn't, if it had been certain puzzles, I would have been like, I personally will win this for us.
Right,
Let me
right.
in. The insanity puzzle was one that Franny and Matt had both practiced. I trusted them. I thought like they're really smart people. So I was
Right.
like, I'm not going to be the one that like solves this for us. And so that's when you go, is it better to make a fuss or like let the people I trust who have so far been winning, keep their streak up?
Now, was there any talk back at camp, any concern about this at all, or was everybody like, no, this is the right decision we're going for? Did you get any feedback at all to kind of like so you could weigh that in your mind, or was nothing really
It's
said?
a game. I'd be asking, has anyone said anything about me being lazy? Is anything whatever? And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like, no, no, it's fine, it's fine. Like Danny would come up to me before a challenge and be like, it's okay if you sit out this one, don't worry. Like,
yeah.
and you take it with a grain of sand, salt, sand. Why am I getting all my idioms mixed up? You take it with a grain of salt or whatever.
Right.
And but like he said it. And if somebody had said, hey, like if Heidi had come to me and been like, hey, I think you're kind of weak, I would have
Yeah.
shown her. Like I could have done it.
Yeah.
But at that point, like you take their word. I don't want to look paranoid. I don't want to look stressed. I'm just trying to like look like good vibes, trying to help the team.
Right.
And that was the move.
Now, why do you think they voted you out as opposed to someone else? What was the dynamic going on there? Kind of explain that to us, because again, we only get to see so much, and you were there and you were able to, have a better perception than we were.
So I think it's one of those things, especially you see it on tribes that win a lot. Like we
Right.
had never solidified anything, right? Because we
Oh,
talk every single day, we are making new plans, new strategies. The first like 5 or so days, I really feel like I had it locked up. Like it
right.
likely would have unfortunately been Matt going home. And like that's why I include Franny in a bit there. But like it was like a revolving door. And on this one, it landed. I think Danny made a smart move. And like finally, I think like after that much time together, I like sometimes showed that I had like some more free thinking and was like a little bit smarter than I was trying to make him think I was. And so
Right.
I
Right.
think he clocked me that I am. And so Danny being kind of like the tribe strength, like he was the strongest person on our tribe. He built us our shelter. He did all of that. His words
All right.
carry weight and he put his foot down, right? Like the other thing is like, and this is on me for not making allies who will do that, but he put his foot down. He wanted to
Right.
vote me out and he said, this is what I want to do. And none of my allies, you see them all say it. Oh, I don't really want to vote Claire. I'd rather her
Right.
stay. But no one is stepping up and saying, I'm not voting Claire. And honestly, that's on me. I didn't make the relationships I needed to make to get somebody to do that for me. And like, that's the way it works.
Now, you made an impassioned plea to Heidi, we saw. You really tried to sway her to your side. Why do you think she stuck with the others? Did you get any hint of why she made the decision she made?
She made the decision that she thought was rational to her. Everyone has to make value judgments. You saw Franny made the judgment that it was better for me to stay, but with Heidi, like she truly, and I didn't know this, and I think it was like kind of becoming abundantly clear as you see me like processing that,
Right.
like Heidi was one of the people I felt closest to personally. Like she meant so much to me. She
Right.
reminded me of my
Right.
mom. We bonded in a way that like I don't think she bonded with a lot of other people. So I thought we like on a human level that she would like care about me.
Right.
Um, but like Danny, apparently she made her choice and having like her whole thing that she kept saying was like, I don't want Danny to be mad at me. I don't want Danny to be mad at me.
Right.
She made the choice that Danny being mad at her was like worse than me leaving.
Yeah.
And that was her value judgment. It's interesting because to me, if I were her, I'm like, she's in a sick place, right? She votes out Josh or whatever. Danny's alone because he doesn't trust any of us.
Right.
So she can work with him still. I'm indebted to her because she saved my ass and I still wanted to work with her even when she was like, I don't know. And then you have Franny and Matt who are still a good target. And again, you just worked with them. So you have them now. You could be a three with them. You can have Danny on his own. You have me on my own. But instead, she kind of favored just keeping Danny happy in that moment. And my pitch was kind of like, and I think everyone kind of agreed, like I was kind of tribe morale, keeping people happy. Like I was very like cohesive vibes. And like I was like, I think if you guys lose me, this could really hurt
Yeah.
your future.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Danny, you saw how the whole idol thing played out, how he, hit it, all that. Cause was this all a big surprise to you? Were you guys talking about who might have the idol, who might not have the idol? Give us your take on what was going on there. Because again, we only see so much, so we only know a little bit of what you guys were thinking collectively and individually.
Totally. So I don't think anyone was like clocking Danny as having it. Like there wasn't this
Right.
like target. I think what's so interesting is this cage was so mysterious, right? You don't know if we open it, the bag has to be taken out. Like, is it a
Right.
beware type advantage where we have to know what's inside of it? And so, like, we didn't even know how to know if somebody found it. What's interesting is, like, luckily on the bench, one thing Matthew did share with me was that there were two idols, one fake, one real. And so when Matt found his idol and found just like a pure idol in the bag
Yeah.
and told me and Franny, who I had let know, we thought didn't know his idol was real. And so at that point, I thought either Danny or Josh had found it and had snagged it. I didn't know
Right.
who, but I thought somebody had an idol. And I think like I was not surprised. I did not think that Matt actually had the idol and like it was not a factor. As you see, like I wasn't trying to get him to play it on me, like or anything. Because
Right. Right. Right.
but like Matt, that was definitely genuine. He did not know it was fake. Like that was crazy. it was not the twist I expected. I got lucky because I was able to build those bridges across tribal, and like they had already found their bird cage. But
Yeah, yeah.
like it was definitely still surprising. And like you still don't know, right? Like I was like, did Matthew give me good information? Did he make that up? I think I'm a good read on people, so I was like, I don't see why he would lie about that. I think that makes sense intuitively as a twist. Like I think it's a really good twist. And so I was like, so that was kind of the thought process.
Now, again, we've seen, saw people in the tribe talking about the showmance, discussing the showmance. How high are they on people's radar around camp? What is the talk going on? Because again, only see so much. So give us a little preview or a little insight into what the tribe was thinking about them, and what was going on.
I think early on it was like such a target, right? Like that
Right,
what you saw was like day one hit the beach, they were like that. And like to be honest, it kind of flattens out, right? Like Franny made the right strategic move that was like
right,
came to me that was like we're a little too close. And so then they started to kind of like you'd see them being together, but it was not like in day one. Like
right.
Matt was kind of puppy dogging her because he's the cutest person ever, like kind of following her around, and she'd be like, "Step back, like we
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
be separate." But like really, truly, what it was like watching, and like you don't see it with my reactions, but like it just looked like two people who loved each other's company, like absolutely loved each other's company and wanted to be around each other. Yes, they were strategizing, but they were also still strategizing with me. So I
Oh,
wasn't
right,
like, oh, they're off in their corner
right,
plotting.
right.
Like,
Yeah,
isolating yourself isn't actually that threatening because what are you going to do? And we know Matt doesn't have a vote. Danny now realizes that Matt has a fake idol that he thinks is real. So Danny's like, if I were Danny, I'd be like, this is a sick guy to have. He's like,
yeah.
and so yeah, I think it was definitely like top of mind, and the first few votes probably would have gone to Matt, but like it did diffuse a bit, and also just like it was so cute. They're adorable. Like you see it, like yes, I'm like groaning because it's like all like it's like watching your parents kiss, and it's like, but like it was so freaking adorable. Like we were definitely like a bit, and especially them being my close allies, being like,
Yeah.
dude. But I also was like, keep a little target. That's fine. Hopefully it wasn't me. It was still me somehow, but like that was kind of the thought process, and it was as cute and also as annoying as it was shown on TV.
Now, I ask this question of everybody I've talked to because, again, we only get to see, they film hours and hours and hours of footage, and we only get to see, you know, 45 or whatever every week. So, is there anything about your journey, whether it was a strategic move, a bond, a situation, or anything on the island that you wish would have been shown so fans could have seen it and maybe understood your journey a little bit better, or maybe just appreciated it a little bit better? Was there anything that you wish they would have included?
I obviously like would have loved to see a little bit more Soka strategizing early on. Like we were playing that game. It was a lot of good like game nerds playing good game. We just didn't get to go to tribal. The
Right.
other thing is like I mean, I think like it's interesting. I like looked at the stats and I had like actually very few confessionals, but I think like I was getting just like little gimmicks a lot of it. But like, you know, I just the way that like as a super fan, there's that balance of backstories and stuff, but like it would have, I feel like I have perspective, I have things to share, and like, the more I could have kind of shared about my journey or my experience would have been great. But like for me,
Yeah.
it was always about the game. So like I love that. But yeah, I think just like we were goofy, we were having fun, we were having a good time, and like you have to make choices, and like if
Yeah.
we're not going to tribal, but it was just like such a joy.
Right. Well, once again, I'm getting the cut here. So once again, thanks very much for taking the time to talk to us today. It was wonderful speaking to you. And as I always say, you never know. Your survivor journey might not be over just yet. So all the best in the future to you. And thanks again for speaking to us.
Yeah, thank you so much. I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, take care.